Everything you have been taught about learning English is a complete lie designed to keep you trapped. I wasted 10 years feeling stupid before I discovered a terrifyingly simple truth. Watch until the end, because this hidden 6-month blueprint will completely rewrite your brain forever. I need to confess something to you today, and it might make you a little angry. For years, I was completely lied to, and I am guessing you have been lied to as well. I used to stare at the clock, feeling a heavy, dark frustration in my chest. I spent thousands of hours memorizing long lists of vocabulary. I filled dozens of notebooks with complex grammar rules until my brain was completely exhausted. I did exactly what the teachers told me to do. But every single time I stood in front of a real person and needed to open my mouth to speak, my mind went completely blank. The words vanished. I felt frozen, embarrassed, and entirely broken. I thought I was simply not smart enough. I believed the lie that said I needed 5 or maybe 10 more years of painful studying just to hold a normal conversation. But what if I told you that everything we have been taught about learning this language is backwards? What if I told you that the secret to speaking confidently does not live inside a textbook, and it definitely does not take 10 years? Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Glaze English. I am so glad you are here with me today on this journey. If you are tired of feeling stuck, and if you want to discover the real methods to unlock your potential, please hit that subscribe button right now. Your support gives me the motivation to keep creating these videos and sharing these truths with you. Because today, I am going to give you a promise that might sound completely crazy. You can completely change your English in only 6 months. Yes, you heard me right. Just 6 months. I know your brain is probably rejecting this idea right now. You are thinking it is impossible. But I am asking you to stay with me until the very end of this video, because I am going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how to do it. We are going to throw away the old broken system. We are going to replace it with a massive lifestyle shift. It comes down to one single powerful word: immersion. Today, I am not going to give you difficult theory. I am going to share my personal blueprint with you. I will show you the exact, simple steps you must take every single day to rewire your brain and make English a natural part of who you are. Let us begin.
Dưới đây là phần thứ 2 của kịch bản, được nối tiếp liền mạch với phần trước, giữ nguyên mạch cảm xúc sâu sắc, góc nhìn cá nhân và tuân thủ đúng số lượng từ bạn yêu cầu.
We just talked about throwing away the old system and adopting a massive lifestyle shift called immersion. So what does living inside the language actually look like when you wake up tomorrow morning? We have to completely destroy the idea that immersion means opening a heavy grammar book, studying for a painful 10 minutes, and then slamming it shut so you can go back to your normal life. That is not immersion. That is just torture. Immersion means you are literally living inside the language. It means English becomes the very air you breathe, surrounding you constantly, without you even having to think about it. The core engine of this entire 6-month process begins with input, and specifically, listening. I want you to think of listening as the purest, most essential food for your brain. If you starve your physical body of nutrients, you become weak, slow, and exhausted. In the exact same way, if you starve your brain of the sounds, the rhythm, and the music of English, your ability to speak will forever remain weak. You cannot produce what you do not consume. You have to flood your ears with the language before you can ever expect it to come out of your mouth. Let me share the morning protocol that completely changed everything for me. Imagine your alarm goes off tomorrow morning. The sun is barely coming up. You are tired. You have a long day ahead of you, and you need to get out of bed, make your coffee, and prepare for your day. Instead of doing what you always do, turning on the local radio or listening to music in your native language, you make one small, quiet choice. You press play on a simple English podcast or a YouTube video. You let the voices fill your kitchen while you brush your teeth. You let the sounds wash over you while you get dressed. You are not sitting at a desk with a notebook. You are just living your normal life, but now English is the soundtrack. Now, I need to be brutally honest with you about what will happen next. In the first few weeks, you are going to feel incredibly frustrated. You will listen to those podcasts and feel a deep panic because you do not understand the words. It will sound like chaotic noise. I know that feeling so well. It is scary. But I need you to trust me right now. Understanding the meaning of every single word is completely irrelevant at this stage. Your brain is doing something much more profound. It is capturing the melody. It is mapping the rhythm. Think of it like walking into a gym for the first time in 10 years. Those first few days, your muscles scream in pain. You feel weak. But that pain is simply the feeling of your body adapting. Your brain is a muscle, and right now, it is just sore from a new workout. Do not demand perfection from yourself. Just demand presence. Let the language play in the background, and let your brain do the heavy lifting in silence. But letting that language play in the background is only half the battle. Because if listening is the input that feeds your brain, speaking is the output that must train your mouth. For the longest time, I used to tell myself a very dangerous lie, and maybe you are telling yourself the exact same thing right now. I used to say I would finally start speaking when I met a native speaker, or when I had the money to travel overseas, or when my vocabulary was just a little bit better. My friend, I need you to hear me. Waiting for that perfect moment is a trap, and if you wait for it, you will wait forever. The perfect moment to speak is not tomorrow. It is right now, today, even when there is absolutely nobody else in the room with you. You have to start practicing the lonely art of self-talk. When you are alone, I want you to start describing your actual life out loud in English. If you are walking across the factory floor to check on the equipment, quietly say to yourself, I am inspecting this machine. I am checking the temperature. If you are finishing a long shift and heading back to your wife and kids, say out loud, I am going home to see my family. These are short, incredibly simple sentences, but they possess a massive hidden power. They destroy the heavy friction between your brain and your tongue. You are physically forcing your mouth to practice English sounds in the middle of your daily reality. Then, you take it one step further with a technique called shadowing. I absolutely love this method because it forces you to stop overthinking. When you listen to a native speaker, do not just hear the words, act like their shadow. Repeat what they say immediately, out loud. Copy their emotion. Copy the way their voice goes up and down. Copy the exact music of their sentence. I promise you, the first time you try this, you will laugh at yourself. You will feel completely silly, and your tongue will literally get twisted. That happens because the physical muscles in your face are simply not used to making these new shapes. But think about what happens if you force those muscles to move every single day for 6 months. Your face adapts. Your mouth learns the flow. The words stop being trapped tightly inside your head, and instead, they finally start coming out smoothly, pouring out of you like water flowing freely from a clear river. Once those words finally start flowing from your mouth, you are ready to conquer the absolute final frontier of your 6-month transformation, which is learning to think directly in English. For years, my biggest enemy was not my lack of vocabulary. It was the silent, exhausting habit of translation happening deep inside my head. You probably know exactly what this mental trap feels like. You look at a situation, you form a brilliant thought in your native language, and then you panic as you desperately search through your mental dictionary to find the English equivalent. This translation process is a disease to your fluency. It makes every single conversation feel heavy, slow, and terrifying, because you are constantly doing double the work by processing 2 different languages at the exact same time. If you truly want to feel free when you speak, we have to completely cut out the middleman and rewire your internal circuitry. This brings us to a daily protocol that requires no textbooks and no money, just intense personal discipline. I call it the 5-minute brain rewire. Sometime today, maybe when you are taking a short walk outside or just sitting quietly with your own thoughts, I want you to give yourself a strict mental command. Tell your brain that for the next 5 minutes, your native language is completely forbidden. During this tiny window of time, start asking yourself incredibly simple questions and answering them internally. Ask yourself what the most important task is that you need to finish today and answer it in English. Look around your physical environment right now. If you are standing in a grocery store, describe the items on the shelves in your mind. If you are looking at a complex piece of equipment, try to name its moving parts silently in English. At first, your mind is going to violently rebel against this exercise. It will feel exhausting, and your brain will desperately try to pull you back to the safety and comfort of your mother tongue. But I need you to push through that heavy mental resistance. If you force these English thoughts every single day, I promise you will experience a magical breakthrough. A few months from now, you will be walking down the street and something completely unexpected will happen. You will suddenly react to something you see, and the thought will simply appear in your mind, fully formed in English, without a single second of translation. That beautiful, spontaneous moment is the ultimate proof that your brain has fundamentally changed forever. That beautiful, spontaneous moment is the ultimate proof that your brain has fundamentally changed. But reaching that moment requires you to conquer the most dangerous enemy of all, your own mind. All the listening, all the speaking, and all the mental exercises we just talked about will completely fail if your internal attitude is working against you. Learning a language at this level is not just a test of memory. It is a brutal test of personal discipline and mental endurance. I know the dark voice inside your head because I have heard it in my own. It is the voice that whispers, "You are too old to change now." It tells you that you are an adult with a heavy, demanding job, a tired body, and a family to take care of, and you simply do not have the time. It screams at you when you make a grammar mistake, telling you that you look foolish and you should just stop trying. These negative thoughts are incredibly toxic, and if you let them survive, they will destroy your motivation long before you ever see real progress. You have to actively flip the script and take absolute control of your inner dialogue. You have to treat your mind like a powerful system that requires the right fuel to operate. When you feel completely exhausted and confused, you do not look in the mirror and say that you are bad at English. You look at yourself and say, "I am building a new, powerful skill." When you stumble over your words or forget a phrase, you do not say that you are failing. You tell yourself, "I am just collecting data to make my system better tomorrow." You must replace the demand for absolute perfection with a relentless commitment to daily progress. So, my friends, I am issuing a direct challenge to you right now. Give me the next 6 months of your life and commit to this blueprint without any excuses. Do not wait for a quiet week or a perfect time, because life will never stop being busy. Breathe the language every single day. Let it fill your ears. Let it shape your mouth. And let it take over your thoughts. If you stay disciplined, you will look back in 6 months and you will not even recognize the confident person you have become. As we bring this journey to a close, I want you to take a deep breath and look at the bigger picture of what we have actually discussed today. We are not just talking about memorizing a new set of sounds or passing a vocabulary test. The blueprint we have explored, flooding your ears with daily listening, forcing your mouth to speak through self-talk and shadowing, demanding that your brain thinks directly in the language, and ruthlessly protecting your positive mindset is about so much more than just fluency. The profound lesson here is that mastering English in 6 months is ultimately a masterclass in personal development and self-discipline. It is about proving to yourself that you possess the inner strength to completely change your own reality. When you commit to this level of daily immersion, you are stepping out of the passive, frustrating role of a student and becoming the active architect of your life. You learn how to manufacture focus out of a chaotic schedule. You learn how to build unbreakable habits, even when your body is tired from a long, demanding day at work and your mind just wants to shut down. The way you apply this to your life right now is incredibly simple, but it requires courage. You do not wait for a perfect Monday to begin. You wake up tomorrow morning and you immediately take control of your environment. You put on that English audio while you make your coffee. You talk to yourself out loud while you commute. You use the empty pockets of time in your day not to scroll mindlessly on your phone, but to build a high-value skill that will unlock new doors for your future. When you apply this relentless consistency to your language journey, you will suddenly find that this exact same discipline bleeds into every other area of your life, making you stronger, sharper, and much more resilient in the face of any challenge. You will realize that success is never about having the best talent or the most free time. It is always about what you choose to do with the 24 hours you are given. Before you go, I have a very simple question for you, and I would genuinely love to read your thoughts. What is one specific, small habit you are going to change tomorrow morning to start your own English immersion? Please take a second to write your answer down in the comment section below so we can all read your ideas, inspire each other, and hold each other accountable on this journey. If you found this video helpful and you want to keep exploring these strategies with me, please hit that subscribe button to support Glaze English. Your support gives me the absolute best motivation to keep creating deep, valuable content for you in the future. Thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next one.